Alright, so I felt like watching some more behind the scenes content from NCT, more specifically NCT 127. And as you can already tell by the title, we're watching the recording behind the scenes for Sticker. Now you may ask yourself, Mimi, why did you choose that one? You're not really a big fan of Sticker, and that is true. I have been struggling a little bit with it, you could say. But still, you know, there is something about it that just keeps me coming back to it in a way. Yeah, kind of. I don't know. But I thought, why not? You know, I feel like we should give it like a fair chance. I have been watching, you know, some stages of it off camera. I did record, you know, my second listen to it a while back, and I never just posted it, and I think I deleted it honestly because I was just like, no, maybe not. But yeah, also just because I'm curious to see how, you know, the members are gonna do this, because I feel like in NCT and the NCT fandom, Sticker is a very loved, very known song, and then I feel like I am kind of like part of the outcast who was not really like, you know, wasn't really my cup of tea, along with Doyoung apparently, because you've been telling me that he's like the biggest like Sticker hater. I'm not a hater, I will say that. There are parts of it that I do like. It is the flute thingy that I can't get behind it. I don't know what it is, it doesn't scratch my brain right, kind of. But I'm excited to check it out. I always love these behind the scenes recordings, so I'm excited to see that anyways. And I mean, it's the members, it's NCT 127. I love them, you know, I'm happy to see them. So yeah, anyways, now without any further ado, let's go.
틀어줄게.
Hi.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 어떤 곡일까? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Johnny's Community. Today we're gonna listen to our title song.
전에 이런 자리들은 아마 없었을 거예요. 뭐 워낙에 이번에는 좀 중요하기도 하니까 오늘 총 두 곡 들려드릴 건데.
Also, if you know, could you tell me how the whole like song process thing works in NCT? Because with some groups, you know, they are heavily, you know, involved in the production, writing, making up the melodies, like everything, composing, all of it. But it seems like in NCT they are just given tracks. They're given, you know, these like instrumentals and then like sometimes like a demo version of a song, because I know that I think Mark and also Taeyong especially are very like heavily involved with like, you know, credits on the songs. I think, at least in terms of writing, I think, I'm not entirely sure. As is Kun, I think, you know, in Wavy, he is these producers that I know. But could you tell me how the whole process of that is? Because, you know, compared to like, say, Stray Kids, 3 Racha, they compose, they write, they, you know, they do everything. I mean, they have probably producers who help them and stuff, you know, a team, but they're like the main producers of Stray Kids. And like in 80s, you have Mingi and Hongjung are very much, you know, very involved in the whole like songwriting of their songs, even though they have like producers who help produce the beats and everything. So I'm just wondering how it works in NCT. So if you know, do tell me.
타이틀 제목은 스티커고요.
제목 좋아. 조금 트렌디하다.
제목은 스티커이고
Trendy.
믿거든요. 좋아. 믿듯.
유인하님이 같이 디벨롭을 해주셨어요.
오.
들려드릴게요.
네. 와, 벌써 좋아.
Also, follow-up question, is it then like the company, that meaning SM or whatever, are buying up these like tracks and then gives them to groups, and then the groups are the ones singing them? Do they get any like, what is it called, royalties on these songs? Do they even make money out of these songs? Or like, because I feel like some people were saying like they've been idols, they've been an idol group for like 3 to 4 years or something, or like even 7 years, and then when they actually, you know, renew their contract, that is when they actually start making money. I've never really understood how this whole industry works, and honestly, like, my main concern with these idols is that they're healthy, that they're fine, that they're like, you know, doing okay, because I know this industry is raw, it's tough, it's a lot, it's not for everyone. And I'm just wondering how this process actually works. I'm very curious about that. So if you know anything about it, then do leave a comment if you want to. I would appreciate it very much. I feel like I'm articulating myself pretty good now, aren't I? It's again after 9 p.m. Maybe that is something to do with it. I don't know, but I feel like my speech is actually working. I don't think I have to cut anywhere, yet. But I probably just jinxed it. Just, probably. Anyways.
Oh my god.
Okay, I will say though, as soon as you see Taeyong dance, vibe, or whatever, you know that the song is gonna be a hit. It might not be for everyone, but it is gonna be a hit.
근데 뭔가 춤추면 멋있을 것 같아.
The difference between Doyoung and Taeyong right now is hilarious, especially when you do know that Doyoung do not like this song. Like, from what you've told me, at least, he does not like this song. And also in compilation and stuff, he does not really talk very highly of this song. Yeah.
노래한테 벌 받는 기분 본 적 처음이야. 혼나는 느낌이 약간. It's pretty dope.
근데 노래가 너무 어렵다. 음 자체가 날 수 있는 사람이 태영 파트밖에 없던 것 같아.
태일형이 다 해야지. 태일형이랑 도영이가 다 해야지. 근데 방금 내가 춤추면서 그려봤거든? 괜찮아. 멋있어. 멋있어.
아 근데 좋아.
걱정이 많아서 그런지 좋아.
우리가 너무 걱정 많이 했어. 그게 개념이야.
Also, out of curiosity, what would happen if they don't like the song? Are they allowed to like refuse one? Like say, no, we're not doing this one, give us something else. Can they do that?
또 새로운 게 있으니까 뭐 그거에 대해서 또 도전을 하긴 하는데 그게 처음 지금 받아들여진 거다 보니까 살짝 당황했던 건 있지만
우리도 그러면 이 곡이 이만큼 어려우니까 여기까진 못하더라도 여기까진 맞춰놔야 돼.
좋아.
해보자. 파이팅 하자.
파이팅.
파이팅.
잘 부탁드릴게요.
인트로를 되게 제가 생각을 해봤어요. 만약에 퍼포먼스를 하면은 어떤 뉘앙스로 가져가야 되는지. 근데 저는 두 번째 것도 나쁘진 않다고 생각을 하긴 해요. 그거랑 이제 두 번째 때 했던 애드립을 섞으려고 했었거든요. 알겠습니다.
Okay, he said here, I'm gonna mix it. So he is part of the like production of the song then, I would assume.
오늘 재밌게 놀아보겠습니다.
By the way, I'm not gonna pause like this to it. See, there it happened. I knew it was too good to be true. Just because I said I was gonna jinx it, I'm actually gonna keep that in the video. Usually I cut these part out and I say it one more time. See, now I fucked it all up. Great. What was I gonna say? I was talking about Taeyong mixing it. What the fuck did I say? I got so like thrown off by the fact that my speech got all like cluttered up or whatever it's called. I forgot what my point was. I paused. Yeah, I was gonna say I am not gonna like pause like this throughout the entire video. I just apparently had a lot to say and questions and stuff. So okay, now.
I got what you need. 원하는 건 골라보죠. I can show you need. 힙하지 나란 스티커. Bam bam. 한 걸에 먼저 내도 좀 봐. Got the will. Show you the vibe. 꼬리에 로고를 총 모양으로. Baby.
I can show you need부터 힙하지 나란 스티커까지만 다시 찍어봐도 펀치해도 돼요.
I can show you need. 힙하지 나란 스티커. Bam bam. 한 걸에 먼저 내도.
네, 들어볼게요. 네.
Baby. Yeah.
Baby. 테이크 괜찮으시면 바로 애드립 해도 돼요.
Yeah. Yo, I got what you
Is
need.
that in the song? I don't think I've ever really noticed that. And if so, I didn't really know that it was his voice.
원하는 걸 골라보쇼 우리의 로고를 총무약으로 baby yeah yeah 내가 보스란 말이야.
You know what I'm gonna do? Because I'm trying to be better at, you know, expressing myself at times. Watch me do this one time and never again. Because that would be very typical of me. I'm gonna grab my book. And if I have something on my mind, I will try to write it down. So that I can, like, you know, talk about it. Because I feel like a lot of the times I have to take, like, some very long, like, pauses. And cut that out, obviously. Because I have to think about what was it that I wanted to say, you know? I'm gonna be trying to be good on this one. Anyways.
네. 내가 보스란 말이야.
네.
내가 보스란 말이야. 내가 보스란 말이야.
아 진짜요? 네.
Like a sticker.
Okay, but I will admit, I am sitting here vibing to it. You can see that too. So, like, there are parts of this that I really do like, but it is the flute. I wish we could get, like, a version without the flute. I wonder, like, what would happen if I got to hear a version but without the flute sound.
아 진짜요? 약간 갈리는 느낌.
Like a sticker. 내 옆에 꼭 붙어 있어봐. 사랑한단 말 말고 아껴도 내 말만 하면 your hands up.
아유.
괜찮아요.
아 괜찮아요? 네.
Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party.
네.
Roll up to the party.
Well, proof that he has been there for a while is that probably Ice Americano is, well, below half and it was full when he started, I think. Unless my mind is playing tricks on me now.
오케이. 됐습니다. 수고하셨습니다.
잘했습니다. 브라보 오고요.
Okay, so I actually did note just a couple of things, but just because, you know, I want to be better at talking about their voices. I feel like I already have talked a lot about their voices when doing these recording behind the scenes, you know, before, but I want to add something, you know, because it's not too fun, I think, for you to just sit here and, you know, watch me watch something that you watched before, you know? I did write the word playful because I feel like Taeyong has such like a playful, fun way of rapping. It is like, even if he is very serious, you know, like both facial expression and also like in his tone of voice, it's still very playful. Nothing ever feels too strict with him, and I like that. Also, I did read a comment saying like you have the founding fathers of NCT, which is, you know, the seventh sense unit, but then you have like the founding of Neo, which is kind of like Taeyong, and I could definitely see that with the way he hype himself up over these like songs that are maybe like, you know, not your typical, you know, stereotypical pop song, and I really like that. I feel like he is like a definition of what kind of NCT is and like the foundation of NCT, and then you have everyone else filling in the parts kind of where they belong to make up the whole like, you know, Neo City thingy. And I like that. I like that. I like how he goes out with a very like good leadership. He is a fantastic leader. Like he has been like not just like leader of NCT, but he's also just a genuinely, from what I've gathered and what I've seen and what I've heard, a good human being with what he stands for, and he takes no bullcrap. Okay, like I've seen that with like some clips that have been shown, especially with the time we're living in right now, where his like, you know, loyalty lies, if you want to call it that. I'm not going to speak too much about it, but I love that he's so vocal about it, and that he's so like, you can clearly see that he's one for the people, kind of, and I love that. Anyways, that was way off what I was actually talking about, but yeah, playful and kind of like the founding of Neo. That's kind of like, I feel like that would be the two like, what to call it, the two like, oh my gosh, what is it called? Keywords to describe him for me.
연습했어요? 연습했어? 2번 안에 끝내야 돼. 2번 안에 기회가 있어.
정규 3집 타이틀곡을 녹음하였는데 앞에 인트로를 제가 참여를 하게 됐어요. 그래서 두 버전을 녹음을 했었는데 어떤 버전이 될지 혹은 둘 다 될지 잘 모르겠지만 좋은 결과가 있었으면 좋겠고요. 굉장히 또 새로운 뭔가 미션이 주어진 느낌이 들어서 또 열심히 준비해 봐야겠다라는 생각이 듭니다. 여러분 많이 기대해 주시고 그때 또 만나요.
네, 잘 부탁드리겠습니다. 지구 말로는 그거 LOV. 지구 말로는 그거 LOV. LOV. 지구 말로는 그거 LOV.
Okay, I don't think I've seen him like that, like expressive, like body language wise, while doing a recording behind the scenes. Honestly though, I haven't done too many for NCT 127 actually, so that might be why. But I love how he kind of like feels the song too. It is nice to see. It's fun to see when artists are like feeling the songs that they're recording. Also, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to sit here and sound like I'm trying to be a professional, because I'm not, already. I'm just trying to be better at explaining myself, because I be explaining myself in the weirdest way, and I'm probably going to. So, if you like that, then fear not. It's gonna come out sooner or later. I'm gonna have some very weird way to compliment or say something. I'm just trying to now, I'm just trying to like word myself better. Yeah. Anyways.
이게 좋은데?
네, 저도 괜찮을 것 같습니다. You treat me like a boy, 꿈을 쫓는 어린아이처럼 말이야. You treat me like a boy, 꿈을 쫓는 어린아이처럼 말이야.
좋은데요? 들어볼게요.
네. 네가 보스란 그 말이야. 네가 보스란 그 말이야.
한번 들어볼게요.
Like a sticker. Like a sticker. Roll up to the party. 네. Roll up to the party. 사랑한단 말 말고 아껴둬. 내 말 맞다면 through hands up.
들어볼게요.
네, 감사합니다. 수고하셨습니다.
수고하셨습니다.
일단 우선 가자마자 태일형이 이제 녹음이 끝나고 이제 이사님이랑 얘기를 하고 계시더라고요. 그래서 1차 거기서 약간 떨린다는 생각을 하게 되었고,
You sounded
형이
good
이제
though.
녹음한 부분들을 다 들어봤는데 형도 녹음을 잘 했더라고요.
I think one thing though that I do like about this song is I feel like it's kind of challenged the like stereotypical NCT 127 like positions, because the vocalists become more like rap influenced in this song than just straight up like angelic beautiful vocals. They have this like little element of kind of like a rap sound. It's not full on rap, not at all, but I feel like it challenges them a little bit, and I think that's fun, because I think that also helps them grow as artists, being challenged a little bit like that, not just being safe in your like vocal precision, but actually like stepping kind of out of it and doing something else.
형답게 거기서 이제 2차 나도 더 떨리기 시작하는 게 긴장이 그래도 언제까지 긴장만 할 거니 정우야, 너도 열심히 해서 잘해야지, 자신감을 가져보자 해가지고 바로 그냥 저도 녹음 부스로 들어갔습니다. 일단은 초반 스타트가 굉장히 좋았습니다. 그래서 뭔가 너무 좋다. 장난이고요. 정말 최선을 다해서 녹음을 했고, 이사님께서 디렉을 잘 봐주신 결과로 너무 좋은 결과물이 나온 것 같습니다. 그래서 뭔가 저도 일단 뿌듯하고, 이게 중독되는 게 있어요. 여러분들도 이 노래를
No, because you know what? It kind of is. Even like I've talked about, and I'm not meaning to sit here and like diss the song. I don't think I'm dissing it either, because I'm not saying like, oh my god, I hate it, it's so bad. I would never say it's bad. I would never say a song is bad. It is something addictive about it, but I feel like that is also NCT 127's charm, is that they are very addictive. Because if you remember, and I've talked about this before, if you remember when we just started getting into NCT like over a year ago now, I reacted to, a lot of their title tracks, and I was sitting here like, yeah, no, this is not for me. Don't think this is my cup of tea. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be listening to this. You know, I was sitting here like day in, day out, like after watching NCT all the time for NCT 127, but they still made me come back and I wanted to listen to more. So there's something very addictive about their sound. Even if, you know, all the songs aren't up to your kind of like liking, it's still like there's something very addictive about it. And that goes for stickers too. It's something very addictive about it, even if it's not like your type of song.
정말 사랑해 주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 에너지를 엄청 쏟아부을 예정이니까 기대 많이 해주시고 많은 사랑과 관심 부탁드리겠습니다. 감사합니다.
오?
Hi, Mark.
골 아픈 세상은 에이 팍팍 슈가. 사실 어제 태용 형이랑도 얘기를 해봤는데요. 랩을 더 비중을 하냐 아니면 퍼포먼스를 비중하냐의 문제인 것 같긴 하지만요. 바로 들어오는 거를 더 이게 생각을 하고 짜긴 했는데 두 번째 제가 보내드린 버전은 들어오는 정박자를 비우고 나오는 그 레벨이었잖아요. 뭘로 할지를 좀 모르겠었어요.
본인이 하고 싶은 걸 하면 돼.
아 그래요? 알겠습니다. 좋습니다. 오케이.
섣불리 말고 세게 붙여 know that I ain't falling off. 애착심이 솟구치네. Who put this all together? I'm the sticker for your love. 그니까 보인다면 들린다면 바로 대답해 like baby. 오케이 한번 들어볼게요. Okay. 섣불리 말고 세게 붙여 know that I ain't falling off. 애착심이 솟구치네. Who put this all together? I'm the sticker for your love. 그니까 보인다면 들린다면 바로 대답해 like baby.
아 이 우 너무 전우가 더 좋았나요? 보인다면 우 이거를 좀 더 그 음을 넣어서 한번 해봐도 될까요?
그니까 보인다면 들린다면 바로 대답해 like 좋아요.
애착심이
Yeah.
솟구치.
For Mark, I have talked about before how he is one of my favorite rappers, and I always come back to the fact that I love his pronunciation of words because they're very clear. And I think I said that the last time we listened to, I don't know exactly what video it was, but I talked about how I love how, like, if he was rapping in a language that I can speak, either Norwegian or English, I would be able to, you know, understand every single word that he was rapping, you know? Because a lot of rappers, I feel like it can be a little unclear, even rappers rapping in Norwegian, and I'm just like, what was that line, you know? Because they're kind of mumbling. They're not mumbling, but they're not, like, emphasizing each, like, what's it called, syllable or whatever. But I think Mark is very good at that. Also, he seems very detailed. When he raps, he seems very, very detailed. And that is also something I like. He's also very much of a perfectionist, I think. And also, I think he has said something along those lines too. But I think that also is why he is so talented with the rapping, and why also I feel like it almost came natural to him because he auditioned as a singer, or he was supposed to be a singer, or he was a singer before, you know, becoming a rapper, and now he's one of my favorite rappers of all time. I think it's quite amazing. That is also a thing, I guess, that the people who are in NCT fit so well by being in NCT. I feel like they fit the image so well. I guess that kind of goes for the majority of idols, you know, when they're put into a group, and because you're used to seeing them in that group, it just fits, it just feels natural. But it's just something about the members in NCT. I think it's also just because NCT is such a different sound than any other K-pop group, because there isn't anything generic about it. You know, you have other groups, they have their concept, they have their own sound, but I feel like everyone has that one song that is a little bit generic. While as I feel like NCT doesn't have that. I don't feel like I've heard one song that is like a generic pop song. Not once. And I think that also is what sets them apart a little bit with why they like the neo kind of like works. Even if their sound isn't typically neo, like if you watch, you know, Wavy, they aren't typical neo in sound. They still have their own very much wavy flavor, which is not generic at all. It's very interesting. Just because I know humans can take this the wrong way, let me clarify there is nothing wrong with the song being generic or a generic pop song. It's just that for me, NCT has such a special sound. Every song is not a typical radio song. I love a good radio-friendly song as much as the next person. I just feel like NCT doesn't have that at all, and I find it very interesting. Also, let's be honest, we all know NCT is known for having a very different sound, like it's the only group having the neo sound.
네, 한번 다시 해볼 수 있을까요? 감사합니다.
Falling off, 애착심이 솟구치네. I'm the sticker for your love. 보인다면 들린다면 바로 대답해 like.
소쿠치네 하고 나오는 애드립이 두 개 있는데요. 그거 중에 그냥 하나만 나와도 될 것 같아요.
원내 그럼 너의 것이야. 내 옆에 너 꼭 붙어 있어봐. Like a sticker, like a sticker. 더정마 준비가 됐어 곧바로 전국을 봐봐. 더정마 준비가 됐어 곧바로 전국을 봐봐. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party. 솟구치네. Who put the salt together? I'm the sticker for your love. 그러니까 보인다면 들린다면.
그리고 마지막으로 그 보인다면 그거를 다른 발음으로 하는 거에 있어서는 어떻게 생각하세요?
Yeah, I'm the sticker for your love. 그러니까 보인다면 들린다면 바로 대답해.
한 끝났나요? 아 고생 많으셨습니다. 감사합니다.
섣불리 말고 세게 붙인 Know that I'm falling off. 애착심이 솟구치네. Who put this all together? I'm the sticker for your love. 더정마 준비가 됐어 곧바로 전국을 봐봐.
스티커를 녹음했고요. 사실 오늘 오기 전에 사실 걱정하기도 하고 떨리기도 했어요. 오랜만에 또 유영진 이사님이 디렉을 봐주시기도 하는 거였고, 되게 오랜만에 또 NCT 127의 정규 타이틀곡을 녹음하는 거라 좀 약간 설레더라고요. 그래서 아무튼 좀 약간 긴장하는 마음으로 왔는데 랩 메이킹을 또 하게 된 기회가 생겨가지고 태용이 형과 상의도 많이 해보면서 잘 짰던 것 같고, 되게 생각보다 가사가 약간 술술 나와가지고 스티커라는 곡을 만나게 된 게 어떻게 보면 약간 운명이었나, 약간 그런 그 정도긴 한데, 아무튼 이걸 보시고 한 번 더 감상하러 get it.
Okay. Oh,
네.
hi Jaehyun.
나도 환하게 널 만들어. 두세 개 융화라는 거. 두세 개 융화라는 거. 나도 환하게 널 만들어. 두세 개 융화라는 거. Like a sticker. Ho.
죄송해요. 스티커를 속으로 하고 있어가지고 죄송합니다.
꼭 붙어 있어봐. Like a sticker. Ho. 내 작품의 주인공. 가져왔던 내 모든 감정들은 널 맞이하기 위한 것.
네. 한 번만 더 해봐도 될까요?
가져왔던 내 모든 감정들은 널 맞이하기 위한.
네, 들어볼게요.
네. 커져왔던만 딱 한 번 더.
가져왔다?
네.
가져왔던 내 모든 감정들은 널 맞이.
어떠세요?
네.
네.
맞이하기 위한 것.
이게 더 나은데?
네네 맞습니다.
일단은
알겠습니다.
기분 해두고.
네.
You are gonna be only one. I love this melodrama. 너 없인 관객이 하나도 없는 그런 monodrama. 너 없인 관객이 하나.
I think compared to Taeyong's playfulness, Jaehyun has this very calm and grown and mature type of sound that kind of counteracts the playfulness of Taeyong. Because I think like if Jaehyun wasn't there, it wouldn't be as balanced with the different type of sounds. Now do not misunderstand me, I'm not saying that Taeyong's solo music or like if Jaehyun wasn't there that anything like the song would be bad. I just feel like Jaehyun is definitely creating like a good balance in the song with a more grown, relaxed and kind of responsibility type of sound to the song that kind of grounds it a little bit, if that makes sense. And I like that. I feel like to Taeyong's playfulness, you have Jaehyun's counteracting ability to kind of stabilize the song a little bit, which I like. Because I feel like that also creates some type of like, it creates something deeper. It's not just like what are you gonna say? I feel like, okay, see, here is gonna come like my weird explanation again. If you picture water and then you have like the iceberg, you can see the tip of it, but that's only like 10% of the like iceberg or something like that. Everything else is below the surface. And obviously all the members are like, you know, taking their parts to create the entire, you know, iceberg. You have the top, the one that is very like visible, very kind of, you know, loud and grand, and for a reason, because they should be. Then you also have the other parts who are just as important, which kind of counteracts, because you know it's there, and you know that that is also why you can see the top of the iceberg in the first place, is because you have whatever is under keeping it up so that the top part can like kind of float. This is turning very weird. I just don't know how to explain it, because again, you know, sometimes I do struggle with English as language. The main point is to Taeyong's playfulness, you have Jaehyun's kind of grounding voice to keep the balance. And I think that's very important, because that also is what makes NCT that kind of like, you know, unique sounding in a way. I don't know. I hope that made sense. Some type of sense at least.
나도 없는 그런 monodrama. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Like a sticker.
Like a sticker. 네?
Like a sticker. 내 그름 너의 것이야. 내 옆에 놓고 붙어 있어봐. Like a sticker.
감사합니다.
정규 3집 타이틀곡 녹음을 마쳤습니다. 일단
곡 이름이 뭐죠?
스티커라는 곡인데요. 들을수록 더 좋아지는 그런 곡인 것 같아요. 처음 들었을 때보다
People
두
keep
번째가
saying that
좋고,
to me as well.
두 번째보다
You will
세
like it if
번째가
you just
좋고,
listen to it
많은
more.
사랑 부탁드리겠습니다.
That's what I'm doing. Johnny, hi hubby.
sugar 눈치 따윈 보지 말고 yeah.
우리끼린 달달하게 팍팍 셔고 눈치 따윈 보지 말고 우리끼린 달달하게 팍팍 셔고 눈치 따윈 보지 말고 눈치 따윈 보지 말고 입에 발린 말이 아니야 입에 발린 말이 아니야 Like a sticker.
You know, I feel like Johnny is one of the rappers in NCT that is insanely talented, but doesn't really get the opportunity to show it a whole lot. I never feel like Johnny is blessed with a ton of lines, which is kind of sad. Well, not kind of, it is sad. I mean, it's not that he doesn't have lines, because he definitely do. I just wished we could see even more of him, because I feel like he's kind of underrated as a rapper, in my opinion. And I don't know, I just feel like he has a voice that like is very versatile. You know, I feel like he can sound like, you know, like have like a kind of lighter tone, but he can also go pretty deep with his voice. I feel like he's very versatile, and I feel like SM aren't using his voice enough, in my opinion. And that is not a biased opinion, by the way, that is just facts, in my subjective opinion. Which, maybe it is biased, but I also think there's some truth in it, so.
Like a sticker. Like a sticker. 그런 monodrama. 우리 같이 둘만의 파티를 열어 오직 너만 비합해.
I also think that Johnny is one of those, and I do not use this word a lot, but I feel like it fits for Johnny. He's one of those swagger rapper. He has a very coolness to him that also, you know, I feel like everyone in NCT 127 has a very important role to play to get the Neo out. You know, like I kind of said in the beginning, you know, you have Taeyong, who's kind of like the founding fathers of the Neo sound, but I feel like especially NCT 127, who are very, very Neo, I feel like everyone plays a very important part to ensure the Neo comes out in every single song. Kind of.
우리 같이 둘만의 파티를 열어 오직 너와 비 앞에
네, 들어볼게요.
네. Roll up to the party 전국을 봐봐 Roll up to the party
네, 좋아요.
There's so many ad-libs and sounds made that you don't really like pay attention to.
저는
See, you cannot tell me that this part, I know that obviously, like, you know, song to song, every song is different, but you cannot tell me that this part wasn't like super short compared to everyone else. And I feel like that often happens. I don't feel like we see Johnny a whole lot. Like, he's very visible because he's usually shirtless, which I don't mind. I'm just saying that, you know, I feel like he should be able to rap a bit more.
우리의 3집 타이틀곡 스티커를 녹음하고 왔는데요. 신나네요. 저는 하면서 너무 신나가지고 목이 다 쉬었습니다. 멤버들 몇 명 들어봤는데 녹음을 너무 잘해놨더라고요. 이번 곡 많이 또 사랑해주세요.
I will love the song for you. Oh, what? Hi.
Yep.
Damn.
걱정하지 말고 그냥 팍팍 믿어 너만 그래도 돼 걱정하지 말고 그냥 팍팍 믿어 너만 그래도 돼 너만 그래
Is his shirt inside out? Because I swore I could see one of those. It's not stickers, but the one like the little tags, you know, to... I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing... No, isn't... I don't know. Anyways, while I still pause, I can say that I feel like Yuta is one of the, like, hidden aces. Like, when you need him, he will go off with vocals, rap, or dancing, and he will do so brilliantly, and everyone will talk about him for weeks. But I feel like he's kind of, like, been hiding. I don't know if it's voluntarily or not. I feel like usually it is involuntarily, you know, with SM, because, yeah. But I feel like he's one of the hidden gems of NCT, because you know that when they need him to, he will go off. We've seen that in some live stages, the way his vocals can shine so bright, and then you have SM just being total heads. I'm trying not to use too many bad words, but sometimes it just can't be helped. You know, I know that he is coming out with an album very soon, and I'm just waiting for SM to actually start promoting him, because I don't feel like they're doing a very good job. They never have. Maybe they never will. But you know, miracles has happened before, so you never know. But still, I hope he receives a lot of love on the album that he's coming out with, because he deserves it. But yeah, I feel like he's definitely like NCT 127's hidden gem, because you know he's talented. You know he's talented as fuck, honestly. But he's kind of hidden at times. Also, if any of my opinions, which again, subjective, so it doesn't mean my opinions are wrong, it doesn't mean yours are wrong, because subjective opinions are just subjective opinions, you know? But if there's anything you do not agree with, then do tell me in the comments. Like, I would love to hear your opinions on what I'm saying, but also your opinion in general when it comes to NCT 127. So if you have opinions, comment them. I will read them, I will reply to them, because you know I love reading and replying to your comments.
Like a sticker. Sticker.
Like a sticker. Like a sticker. Like a sticker.
I really like the, like, what is it called, individuality they're doing to the, like, I was gonna say barking sound they're doing, but also the sticker. All of them has sounded so different, and honestly, again, if you don't really know, I don't think you're gonna be able to really, like, you know, notice it, at least not the first time or second time, maybe even third time. You'll listen to the song because it mixed together very well. But that's what, again, I love about these recordings behind the scenes. You get to get every, like, detail.
Baby go. Oh. Oh.
거부할 수 없다고 baby girl.
Side note, I love Yuta's hair like this.
baby girl. Oh, you treat me like 거부할 수 없다고 baby girl. Oh, you treat me like a boy.
들어볼게요.
Baby girl. Oh, you treat me like a boy. Yeah. Yeah.
들어볼게요.
I love this melodrama. 너 없인 관객이 하나도 없는 그런 monodrama. You are gonna be only one. I love this melodrama. 너 없인 관객이 하나도 없는 그런 monodrama.
수고하셨습니다.
Hi, my love.
수고하셨습니다.
Well, show you the vibe. 우리의 로고를 총모양으로. 우리끼리 달달하게.
Wow, that is a lot
이현진
of
기사님이랑 같이
equipment.
진짜 거의 처음으로 제가 녹음을 같이 해봤는데 되게 잘 디렉을 해주셔가지고 좋게 나온 것 같아요. 멤버들이 한 것도 몇몇 들어봤는데 되게 잘했던 것 같아요. 메모로 들었을
I agree.
때랑 우리가 하는 거는 확실히 좀 느낌이 달라질 것 같고 내가 오히려 그게 좋다고 생각해요. 저는
Kind of want to hear like the demo version now to see how much it's
나오지
changed.
않을까라는 생각도 하고요. 노래에서 나오는 맛이 확실히 있는 것 같아가지고
Yes.
여러분들도 좀 많이 들어봤으면 좋겠고 좀 작업하고 뭐 여러 가지 해서 이 노래 전체 완성시키기 위해서 열심히 할 테니까 그것도 같이 노래랑 영상이랑 같이 잘 봤으면 좋겠습니다.
Golden voice, let's go.
Baby, 이끌리는 느낌새. 네 맘이 시키는 대로 말해 뜻대로 움직여도 된다는 말이야. 네 맘이 시키는 대로 말해 뜻대로 움직여도 된다는 말이야. 말해 뜻대로 움직여도 된다는 말이야. 느낌새.
그냥 웃음소리야.
네.
되게 여유 있게 해줘야 돼.
바로 대답해라 baby. 이끌리는 느낌새. Talk about 너의 중력.
Now, I've never heard that laugh before, but that was attractive.
느낌새.
You cannot tell me that was not attractive. Anyways, again, while I paused, I feel like Haechan is Taeyong's son. Does that make sense? I feel like he's kind of like his son in the way he like sounds when going into the very neo sound. Obviously, like when in NCT Dream, he is totally different. He has a different vibe, different sound, everything like that. Not to say like his golden voice is not an NCT 127, because I don't think for the life of him that he would be able to put away his golden voice. You know, that's just there. It's gonna be there all the time. But when an NCT 127, he has a whole different vibe, and I think it's kind of like impressive that both like him and Mark, how they're able to change up their dynamics so much. Obviously, it's probably also because they're around different members, but I just feel like the difference in how Haechan, you know, are and sounds in NCT 127 versus how it is in Dream is just to the extreme. It's like polar opposites in the same person. And I think also that is what also shows a big part of like his, again, duality, but also like his versatility. Very versatile, you know, in his sound. Even if his voice is still the same, like it isn't like his voice is drastically changing from NCT 127 to NCT Dream. It's just a like versatile style of it to go along with it that is just so incredibly, you know, fascinating to me. Like if I ever got a chance to sit down and talk to Haechan for like 30 minutes, that is definitely a question I would like want to ask. How do you adapt to the different units, and how does your like energy match and change based on what unit you are in? Because it's very fascinating to me, and I would want to understand more about it.
Talk about 너의 중력. Oh, 너무 세게 당겨 날리. 너무 세게 당겨 날리. 너무 세게 당겨 날리. 아주 이끌리는 느낌새. Talk about 너의 중력.
좋아요. 들어볼게요.
들린다면 바로 대답해라 baby. 이끌리는 느낌새. Talk about 너의 중력. Oh, 너무 세게 당겨 날리. 가. 고운 아픈 세상에 신경 꺼 너와 나의 역사만 써내려가
잘했어요, 잘했어요.
Beautiful.
정해져 있는 걸 자연스러운 걸 자연스러운 걸 너만 그래도 돼내 그름 너의 것이야 내 옆에 나 꼭 붙어 있어봐 내 작품의 주인공은 너니까
Doyoung is the last to sing, right? I think so.
내 말 맞다면 throw hands up 사랑한단 말 말고 낚아둬 내 말 맞다면 throw hands up
I'm honestly almost always a little bit scared that Haechan is gonna like faint or something inside that recording booth because he is always going so off, and I also feel like they put him with notes that are kind of like harder to achieve, and he works so hard, and again I think also he's kind of like a perfectionist, so he goes over and over and over to get it like perfect.
yeah
감사합니다. 네.
Beautiful.
우선
Sounded
굉장히
great.
이제 보컬 스킬적으로 테크니컬한 면으로 굉장히 어려운 곡이기 때문에 좀
I feel like he often get those
준비를 많이
parts.
해왔는데 이렇게 해주시는 유이사님께서 굉장히 잘 이끌어 내주셨기 때문에 굉장히 쉽게 풀어 나갔던 것 같고, 그리고 제가 또 형들 것도 다 들었었는데 형들도 다 되게 재밌게
Yeah,
했던
because
것
guidance
같더라고요.
is important. That's the same when it comes to theater as well. If you are just left to yourself, you will not be able to evolve. Sure, you can try different things, but if you don't get any feedback or like guidance, or like maybe like if you try maybe this, or if you maybe try to say that, maybe change out this word with that word, you start like developing there and then because then you've gotten a good guidance and you're also evolving, because then maybe you can use that tip that you got into a next sentence. All right, I changed that word to that word, maybe I can do that in this sentences too, and maybe that will add something more. So like good guidance I think is like half the like work too, in terms of like getting to the 100% of recording a song.
느껴져가지고 굉장히 기대가 됩니다. 데모 느낌과는 완전 또 색다른 느낌의 곡이 탄생했기 때문에 또 이제 안무랑
They keep
같이
saying
한다면
that. I wonder what the demo
퍼포먼스.
is the demo version able to like find? If so, I think I might do that just to like compare the demo version to the like the NCT 127 version.
곡이 완성될 것 같습니다. 여러분 많이 기대해 주세요.
베이비 하면서 긁어서 하면은 어떨까 싶어서 생각을 해보긴 했는데
baby 겁을 내지 말아줘 baby 겁을 내지 말아줘 Think about 내 별이 잠식되지 않아 말 oh. 잠식되지 않아 정말 oh. 잠식되지 않아 정말 나도 화나
Sounds amazing already.
Falling into my love, my sugar. 들어봐봐 이건 절대. Falling into my love, my sugar. 들어봐봐 이건 절대. Yeah, yeah. 넵.
Because you cannot tell me with a voice like that Doyoung was not an angel in his previous life, because I am convinced that he was an angel and now he is Doyoung, and we are being blessed with being able to live in the same time period as the Doyoung from NCT, because that man's voice can probably touch the sky and beyond, out into different galaxies, reach whatever creatures are living out there, and everyone would be like, yeah, that's an angel, that's a godly being, with the way he sounds.
설마 이것도 다 넣냐?
네.
예.
When it comes to Doyoung, and I mean this applies to the other members as well, but when it comes to Doyoung, since he's the one we're currently listening to, I feel like I often do that like mistake myself, in that when there is a big change in sound from one song to another, I kind of expect them to sound different. I expect them to do like a 180 and not really sound like themselves, but they do. That's kind of like how much energy that you put into a song can change up the sound, because it's like listening to a completely different version of themselves, but it's just like what kind of energy and mood is put into the song that makes it sound different. Because if you think about it, I mean, when you really listen to it, and you know, when you're watching these recording behind the scenes, you can tell like, yeah, this is still Doyoung's voice. It sounds pretty like, you know, normal, if you can call it that. It sounds like you would expect it to do. It sounds like Doyoung, but because of the energy and also because of the song, but mostly because of the energy and the mood that he puts into the song, it suddenly has a way different vibe that can kind of be mistaken for their voices. Although their voices sounds the same, you can't like magically change your voice unless you're like a voice actor or something. But as a singer, I don't really think you can mask your like voice too much. Maybe a little bit, but not that much. And I just kind of forget that like, yeah, it still sounds like Doyoung when I think about it. But it also kind of sounds completely different. But I think that is also because you sing a little bit different, like in terms of vocal techniques probably, but also because of the energy.
Oh yeah. 거라픈 세상을 신경 꺼 너와 나의 역사만 써내려가 거라픈 세상을 신경 꺼 내 옆에로 꼭 붙어 있어봐 내 작품의 주인공은 너니까 사랑한단 말 말고 아껴줘 내 말 맞다면 throw hands up 사랑한단 말 말고 아껴줘 내 말 맞다면 throw hands up 사랑한단 말 말고 아껴줘 내 말 맞다면 throw hands up
고생했습니다. 감사합니다. 네, 새벽 2시 47분이고요.
Why are they always working during the night?
마지막으로 마쳤습니다. 마지막 순서의 특권은 전체 멤버들의 목소리가 다 담긴 노래를 들어볼 수 있다는 점인데요. 노래한테 혼난 느낌이었어요. 정말 어마어마한 노래가 되지 않을까. 정말 멤버들의 그런 파워풀한 보컬과 사운드가 정말 압도적이더라고요. 그래서 와, 이거 장난 아니다. 그리고 또 오랜만에 우리 유영진 이사님과 함께 녹음을 해봤는데 정말 유영진 이사님과 녹음을 할 때마다 느끼는 건 아직 갈 길이 멀다. 노래는 정말 끝이 없구나 라는 생각을 하는 것 같고요. 저는 이 노래가 SM을 좋아하시는 분들이라면 모두가 좋아하는 노래가 되지 않을까 라는 생각으로 준비를 하고 있습니다. 그러면 오늘 고생하셨고요. 감사합니다. 전기 30 화이팅!
Okay, so I will admit that when I started this video, I did choose this one mostly because I wanted to, you know, hear this being recorded because, you know, like I talked about in the intro, because, you know, Sticker isn't technically my song, but also because it was on the shorter side. So I thought like, yeah, just a quick little video, and it turned out into almost an hour of recording time, and I think most of this is going to be kept in here. So if you sat through this entire thing, then wow, you are a patient little one, because I talked a lot. I know, but I also kind of wanted to talk a lot in this one actually, because I wanted to, you know, talk about them as individuals as well, and like how I kind of see them and their positions in the group, I guess, in a way. Yeah, that was fun. I mean, there are definitely really catchy parts to this that I really do like, and I think it was very fun seeing them recorded, and you know, seeing all the hidden vocals in this as usual, because that is one of the most fun part, I think, while watching these. Definitely I want to watch more of these. Some of them are really long though, because some of them are like almost 45 to 50 minutes, and that's just the video, and then if you add me into the mixture, it's going to be a very long video, so we will see about that. But like the shorter ones, because there are some that is actually under 20 minutes that we maybe could do or something. Haven't really decided yet, but we shall see. But yeah, it was definitely fun seeing, so I hope you enjoyed watching this with me as well, and thank you if you watched all the way over here with me. You are a proper gem, and I shall see you next time I post here. Goodbye.